Hi, it's John again, and I'm happy to be joined here today by Dr. Philipp Kallerhoff. He is the founder and CEO of Protos Asset Management, and I thought it would be a great time to talk to Philipp, an old friend, about what exactly is going on in crypto markets. So, Philipp, thank you for joining us here today.
Thanks very much, John, for having me. Yes, and I'm on the train.
Yeah, so Philipp, can you tell us what exactly has been going on in the last few months, in particular with crypto prices?
For sure. Let me just pull up our screening tool. It's called Protos Terminal, and you can dive into any of those cryptocurrencies here. And for example, as you can see, we had a very large spike in Bitcoin prices over the last, since end of September, let's say, from 10,000, and then kind of flatlining around this original all-time high of Bitcoin was about was close to 20,000. And we kind of waited there for a bit, and then really in December we had this kind of rally through it, and then kind of spiked to $42,000, which obviously doubles the industry's assets, and and we saw a pullback more recently, and so basically what happened in the last couple of weeks is that Bitcoin became usable, and a lot of apps launching where you can borrow and lend assets. And I think this gave crypto another or more attention again in this market, competing with other asset classes, obviously. But and this is maybe we can touch upon a bit later that what does the yield actually look like, right? I mean, how can you participate in these markets, and how does it work?
Philipp, I was wondering, what do you think is what are the key kind of trends behind what's going on in the market right now? Are there a few big factors that are pushing Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies up to these new heights?
Yes, thank you, John. So, as you know, the market really popped in Bitcoin prices from $10,000 to over $40,000. It retraced a bit now to $35,000, but still it was an incredible rally. And I think the market got new attention because there were these new DeFi apps that are launching over the summer. And one of these apps, as an example, is, for example, Harvest. Harvest offers you an easy way to earn yield on your assets and provide liquidity. So this is one of those so-called D apps. And you can, for example, earn 17 basis points for providing wrapped Ether, so Ether essentially. So that's not a lot, but I mean that's a start. Whereas if you look at, for example, some of these stable coins like USDC, which is a very famous one and highly regulated, and USDT is the largest one, and slightly a bit less regulated. You can earn 11 or 12%. And how do you earn these percentages, right? Because obviously that is not a U.S. government bond. You're earning comp and as well as for these farm tokens. So you can see here already, okay, there is certain yields for lending out your assets. That's fine. But on top of that, these different platforms are offering you a top-up yield for providing liquidity to their platform, right? So in this case, Compound and Farm. And I think this really gave this market a new momentum to interact with it, and ultimately also putting more attention on Bitcoin again, and what Bitcoin is about, because you can also wrap Bitcoins and lend those out. I think there's an example here exactly. So on Bitcoin, you're now getting, let's say, 4%. So obviously that makes it an attractive asset to have.
Philipp, I wanted to ask, there's also been a lot of talk of inflation, stable coins and government regulation in this space, as well as growing mainstream interest from institutional investors. Do you have any comments about those factors as well?
Yeah, so I mean, there is an ongoing discussion, obviously, in the US, if the stable coins or in general, these non-custodial wallets or self-custody wallets should be regulated. Which is probably sensible to say yes, I guess. For example, if you are a Protos token holder, the actual token is an ERC20 token, but if the wallet that you hold it in is KYC'd, and there's AML processes on top of it. So each person that has the Protos token, each wallet, which is self-custody, you're holding it yourself, but still you know who the people are, and that's probably a right way to approach it, to say there's proper regulation even on in the decentralized finance space.
Philipp, I know it's difficult to make forecasts, but you're an asset manager. Where do you see cryptocurrencies, or let's say Bitcoin specifically, developing over the next year to upcoming years? Do you see it as all positive upside? Do you see some potential risks that could see the trend reverse? What are your forecasts for the future of cryptocurrencies?
Yeah, look, John, I mean, like you said, right, it's very hard to say. On the other hand, I am obviously very bullish on it, on the space. So it's, I'm probably the wrong person to ask. So I think, Bitcoin has a lot of potential. I think it could really go, twice as high as this. Absolutely. But again, right, there's never any security on that. And, but yeah, in general, I think there's still very little attention to the space, and if this at this level is Bitcoin is already trading at 35,000, and this becomes more mainstream going forward, then I think there could be more buy pressure on it as we see compared to now, and could drive the price higher. Like PayPal has now introduced Bitcoin into their services. For example, I have a Revolut card. You can buy your Bitcoins there. So there are a lot of different services now where you can get access to the space, which is very different to 3 years ago.
It certainly is developing quickly. Do you have any thoughts about central bank digital currencies or stablecoins?
Yeah, I think it's super interesting what's happening there. I would love to see some of that happening. For example, we're struggling, or I think you as well, really regularly with just simple wire transfers between bank accounts. And this is something that crypto can definitely solve if they're using stable coins. So especially if this would be a combination of a CBDC, so these central banks, digital currencies, combined with self-custody wallets, where you can, you don't have to hold your asset, your US dollar stable coin or Euro stable coin or Swiss franc stable coin with a bank anymore, but you can just hold it yourself in your wallet. And the mobile phones today are well equipped already for holding these assets really securely and holding private keys really securely. So I think in the future we'll find out that the mobile phone is actually a better bank than in terms of just custody, because it's for free essentially, than some of the current banks.
Very interesting thoughts. Philipp, you're a professional investor. You've talked about being bullish on cryptocurrencies in general. If others are interested in getting involved in investing in cryptocurrencies, do you have any sort of general tips for people who are starting to get involved?
Yes, for sure. I mean, we're offering a website called Protos Terminal, which basically walks you through some of the recent developments. It gives you a market overview. I'm just trying to load it, but you also find it from our main website. And so here it is. And basically gives you a market overview of the different indices. So let's say, how's the market doing? How's Bitcoin doing? How the small caps doing? How's trend following doing? Different factors. And so this, this provides at least some starting point. Then we've written a lot of articles about how Bitcoin is working, how it works, what investment strategies could look like, how you can earn yield in this new space. So I hope that provides some starting point, and then obviously we're always happy to chat and get people acquainted.
Great. Well, hey, thank you, Philipp, for joining us today. I know you're busy and it looks like you're almost at the station. So I wish you happy travels off to Australia, and hope to catch up with you with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency prices even higher in the future months.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, John, and talk to you soon. Thanks for having me.
Ciao.